Well, good evening. Thank you so much for choosing Science TV on this wonderful Monday evening, the 1st of September 2025. A very warm welcome to Sports City Show Extra. We have a great show lined up for you, and we will be talking about some of the things that happened over the weekend in the world of sports, beginning with the African Nations Championship, CHAN, where Morocco were crowned the champions once again. And we will also talking about Harambee Stars. How well are we prepared for the coming matches, the World Cup qualifiers? We'll be taking a look at that. And then crossing borders, we'll be speaking about the English Premier League. Match day 3. This was a great weekend for me. You can tell from what I'm wearing. We can not say the same for Felix, but ni sawa tu. At least ndovu hayuko kwa meza, ilianguka pungulupu.
Let me ask, if Liverpool could have scored from an open play, we could have considered that as Arsenal slept on.
No, a goal is a goal.
But
a goal is a goal.
Hiyo ni bahati. Let me tell you Mololo.
Hata ingekuwa pena, ingekuwa nini, bora ni bao.
Penalty tungesema
mara ngapi Arsenal imeshinda kwa set pieces. Mkicheza na United you won from.
Okay, so you say you are taking our role as set pieces.
Anyway, nyamaza ni nimalizie kuintroduce. Anyway, we will also talk about the transfer market. Today is the D-Day. The transfer market will be ending today, and we just want to hear your views on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp and SMS line. Remember, it's 0111 980384. We want to hear how you rate the team you support in terms of transfers. Do you think your team got the player that you needed, or there is something to be done before the transfer market ends tonight? So, my name is Chris Mololo. You've heard Felix is here with me as my co-host, and our sign language interpreter is Esther Kendi. Ulikuwa unasemaje sasa?
I was saying, Liverpool, I think Liverpool, let me talk about Liverpool. I think it was...
Una words.
It was... at some point, Liverpool were playing a game of defending. Now wakapata tu foul moja. Then after Szoboszlai substitution, he came in and scored. So, and even I can say, Raya assumed the ball was out because the ball hit the goalpost before it deflected to.
He didn't assume.
So you say
your ball, the power that it came with, there's no way Raya angeshika yo nini.
So you say it was sure goal for Liverpool.
Yeah, that one was.
Liverpool, the only way I saw Liverpool in the game, Mololo, is when they scored an offside. That Netherlands, Gakpo.
We can't ignore the fact that Arsenal was the better team.
Yeah.
But when you play champions, they will always find a way to win.
But it is not the end of football. Unajua Mololo unaongea as if dunia inaisha leo.
I know you.
Come to the Emirates,
I know you. Ingekuwa ni Arsenal imeshinda, singepumua. Anyway,
we will be revenging
we will talk about that in the second part of the show. But let's talk about CHAN.
Yeah.
This is a tournament that was co-hosted by Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. And we've seen how the competition was. Morocco being crowned the champions for the 3rd time consecutively. What do you have to say about this team?
I can say Morocco have been good. We saw them beat Tanzania. We beat them 1-0 because we were motivated in terms of money and gifts and freebies. I can say the world of football is changing now. Morocco have dominated for their past 3 seasons, and I think it is another chance for the football dynamics to change.
Yeah.
We want to see other teams winning also. Senegal was too near to win, same as Madagascar, but I think it was something, to be honest, that Morocco needed to win.
Yeah.
Because even when they were playing against Madagascar in the final, I saw that screamer, the last screamer from, it was just
the
some
winning
meters
goal.
Yeah, some
I
meters
remember.
away from the D, from the 18-yard box. I saw they were also trying to attack in the first place. Of course, Madagascar started scoring, but I knew Morocco will come back and equalize. They equalized, and even they were eager to win more than Madagascar.
Yeah.
Because after Madagascar were leading in the first half, I think they were supposed to maintain that goal by defending. But they were going for other goals. That's why they scored 2 and Morocco scored 3. I can say it was a fair play. And this shows that Africa, especially Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, we can co-host this thing again, AFCON.
Yeah.
Also, Kenya only has that capability to host the AFCON on its own, not including Tanzania, because the game Morocco against Tanzania, there were no many fans than the Morocco versus Madagascar here in Kenya. It means Kenyans are so eagerly motivated to watch football games, especially when it comes to finals or, you know, Kenya, what I say has made them love football more than that is that there are people going to the stadium to meet their fans. Also, these are content creators. They are going to the stadium to meet their fans. You find that also, not apart from content, there are also those going to make businesses there, different businesses. So it was a good show, and we say we need it again.
And generally, the love of football for Kenyans has increased. Even looking at how the fans showed up in Kasarani. And you can also see the confidence that the leadership has with Kenya, because the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, was here. The CAF, Patrice Motsepe, was here, and other dignitaries. And that is a good sign that even AFCON, we can host it successfully.
Yeah, it is true, and it has also created that is called the fans online movements, whereby the other time it is only a diss between Kenya and Tanzania. Uganda, we have not been having much interaction with them because they are also cool. They don't cool. Like those interactions, social interactions. But this interaction went further. That we saw Zuchu at the Kasarani when she was performing his current or latest songs. You saw that Kenyans were singing the national anthem. Because
was that necessary?
But I see it is just a revenge, because there was some time when Zuchu said that he cannot interact with Kenyans. You know that time.
But I listened to her in a certain interview saying she never said such a statement.
But she said it is true. It is there, because she said...
I heard her denying.
She will always deny, because, you know, Mololo, it is hard for you as an artist. You are in front of your fans, you are presenting something, and someone interrupts you. You know, it brings your morale down.
Yeah, sure.
It is like you are presenting something, and someone tells you you are lying to us. At some point, it brings your morale down. Same as to politicians. You know, politicians have gone to some places, and you find them, they shout those slogans against your party, against your team. And this can even bring down your morale as an artist or a politician. So when it happened to Zuchu, I think her morale has gone down. it is not the same as they have been interacting.
But it's normal. I think
Yeah,
it's
it is,
normal.
it is the world.
Atazoea tu.
And the world rewards a lot.
Atazoea tu, wasanii wamepitia mengi.
Wasanii hupitia mengi.
She'll just overcome it. But anyway, it was not necessary.
And also what the fans were asking, why didn't they give Kenyans artists to perform at the Kasarani?
But I think Savara was there.
Savara was there. We wanted someone like OG himself. There are many we wanted, but
they had to balance, because there was Savara, Zuchu, and Eddie Kenzo from Uganda. So I think they just selected well.
They could have brought Diamond. We want Diamond.
Anyway, now, what would you say about the East African football in general after watching the CHAN competition? Do you think we have improved, or there is more to be done?
I can say we have improved. At the same time, there's more to be done, because all over the 3 or 4 seasons, it is West African teams that have been winning this competition, including the AFCON or North Africa. So we have not seen South African teams and East African teams winning. I can say in terms of athletics we are good, but we need to improve again in terms of football.
Yeah.
Football is Africa. This season or this competition, CHAN, was motivated by the fans, and also it was co-hosted between us, Tanzania and Uganda.
Yeah.
I can say the football has improved, but we need to improve to reach that level of West Africa and North Africa. West Africa and North Africa in terms of football, even if you count those talents that are there in Europe, you found that many talents from West Africa than East Africa and South Africa are playing elite football in Europe. Let's say in the English Premier League, starting from Congo, we have Wissa. We also have Musala from Egypt. We have many stars going West Africa and North Africa. But in East Africa, you will find them in Europe, but they are not playing in the elite sports. They are playing in
top flight leagues.
Yeah, they are playing in the championships, in small teams. They are playing in the, let's say, in amateur football that is not known to the world or is not vibrant. They are the leagues that are not, or the fans don't bother listening or following the content or football from those leagues. So
but I think it will reach a point we'll start seeing again players from East Africa going to these top leagues, because you remember Victor Wanyama has been there. We've seen him in Southampton, in Tottenham, Celtic,
Inter.
Yeah, Mariga was in
Inter. He won the Champions League.
I think he also played for Real Sociedad. So I think it will also come a point where we'll start seeing those players from East Africa in those top leagues.
Like
now,
Aldrin Kibet.
Yeah. Speaking of improving, after observing how Harambee Stars performed in CHAN, do you think we are ready for the World Cup qualifiers? I think we are playing the Gambia on Friday, if I'm not wrong, and then we'll play Burundi. Remember, we are in Group F for the World Cup qualifiers. What would you say? And this time, the squad will be blended, the local players
and international.
Those players from the international.
It is a good show, and it is a good move by the FKF Premier League or the FKF at large, because motivating those players up to that level, and we want more. I can say Kenya will win the 2 games. I don't see Gambia and Burundi bringing us. If we beat Zambia and Gambia and Zambia, I think they are neighbors. Can assure you, even if their names are rhyming, we will believe they are Zambia.
They are playing Gambia and Burundi.
Yeah, Gambia and Burundi. We believe that Gambia is Zambia, so we already beat Zambia. So I can assure you, Mololo, Kenya to the World Cup qualifiers, we are at least having hopes of qualifying.
Yeah.
And it is coming because I don't see Burundi giving us problems. And if Gambia wakikuja vibaya pia tunaweza wapiga.
I think the only tough opponent there is Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Because the games that we played, I think the first one we drew.
Yeah.
Now, then let's talk about this story of motivation.
Yeah.
And Bahati, I don't know why he is cloud chasing with football.
I think at some point, if it was not cloud chasing, he could have given out the money he had promised. I think he's cloud chasing, that's for sure, because
he almost spoiled Mariga's name, and that back and forth from artists, we are not used to it in football.
I can say this football brought in content creators. And you know, content creators will want to have followers, because in the first place, he had promised to give Harambee Stars
1 million.
1 million, of which that is, he can afford. For me, how I know Bahati, he can afford. But reaching to that point where he didn't give the money is where we say he's cloud chasing. Of course, a promise is a promise.
It's a bet.
Yeah, you don't say a promise is cloud chasing, but when he didn't give the money is when it became cloud chasing.
And you know, Kenyans will keep on reminding him until he gives out that money.
Yeah, but that pressure, I think, to an artist is still something that is still cloud chasing.
Yeah.
You cannot.
He's looking for the views. Eh?
Yeah, he's looking for the views, because that will create him content for some time, because the fans will be there online asking. Also in interviews, they will ask him, did you give the money? And that will bring in another content. And those content is being streamed, and is still, it is like, he's a smart cloud chaser, of course.
But I think he should be careful not to spoil the name of someone like Mariga, the vice president of FKF. I heard him speaking, and he was very angry. Very angry. But I hope Bahati will just fulfill the promise. We don't want this in football. As we conclude before taking the break, as we go to this World Cup qualifiers matches, I want to ask you something. As I said, the squad will be blended with both local players and players from the international clubs. And do you think this is something that will give Benny McCarthy a headache? Because trying to fit the positions of these players, looking at how they will gel and all that, do you think it will be a hard thing for him and maybe could affect our performance?
I think this is the time that a crucial decision is needed. Let's say you have a name, but you have been playing for some time. I don't want to mention the names of those players that I think they should be left out for this time. But there have been players who have been in the team for some time. They are known that for Harambee Stars to play, we need to have someone in this position. So we want those positions, especially crucial positions, especially attack, midfield, and let's say the left back and right backs, they should be changed. At some point, I can say the coach has the final decision. And Benny McCarthy is someone who has experience. You see, someone who has dealt with Cristiano Ronaldo is someone who has experience. I don't think Kenya will be too hard for him to handle. He will handle, specifically, choosing the squad that will represent us in the World Cup qualifiers. It is so easy for him because it is just taking someone who can perform. At this point, we don't have to play names. We will have to play performance.
Yeah, and that's one thing I like about Coach Benny McCarthy.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at names.
Yeah.
He always look at the performance.
Because
you even observed in Chan, Austin Odhiambo was shining in the first 2 matches, but when his performance dropped,
he was dropped.
He was dropped also.
That is it, because for some years in top competitions, Kenya has not been qualifying for the World Cup in many of the. In fact, it has never qualified. Kenya has never played World Cup. But this is the time to gamble again to make sure we play. Now that the World Cup qualifiers that we are playing, the only team that can give us headache, tuseme kabisa imetulemea ni Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
But the way we also approach them will determine if we are going to lose completely or we will lose with the respect. You know, there's losing with the respect. The same as in top leagues. You will not find a team like Liverpool playing Arsenal and they beat them more than 8. Itakuwa kukosa adabu.
Yeah.
But a team like Liverpool playing against Burnley, playing against Leeds, wakiwapiga hata 11, it is inaeleweka because now that we are playing Ivory Coast, even if they beat us, you know, some even goals determine where you will be on the table.
Yeah.
If you have a different goal gap or a negative, it means even if you had to be somewhere top of the table, you will need to score many goals.
Yeah.
So what we do against Ivory Coast is to make sure wametupiga tu kamoja kama jana. Kama jana.
But comparing the Harambee Stars ya Engin Firat na the one under Benny McCarthy, at least you can note some differences.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
One of the differences is McCarthy atambui. Benny McCarthy atambui who you are. Because at some point, you saw when Nabwira got red card, the next game, he missed, okay?
Yeah.
The next game, I think there was reshuffle in that area.
Yeah.
The next game, you saw Odhiambo was performing well, he scored. But I think there is something that made Benny McCarthy to put him out of there. So I think...
And even the way he changes the formations, you can see this is a very experienced coach.
But ungekuwa Engin Firat, ungesikia sasa, we are going to start the lineup that lost against, let's say, we lost against Madagascar on penalties though. But if we had lost in the 90 minutes and it was under Engin Firat, you could see him repeating the same
squad.
I think what
he dealt with names more than the performance.
What Benny McCarthy should do as isikiza watu. You know, Kenya, when we see someone performing, we want him to continue. But we don't consider at some point he's tired, at some point amesema mwenyewe game yangu leo itakuwa chini.
And coaching is not easy, by the way. And the sad fact is football is a game of emotions.
Yeah.
When you perform, people will cheer on you. When you don't perform,
people will
watakupasha.
People will talk.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think he will manage the pressure, but so far so good. Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You are watching Sport City Extra. Now, in the Premier League, this was a weekend not to forget, with so much that happened. And I want us to begin with Chelsea versus Fulham. This was a very interesting match. Chelsea has a very good squad.
Yeah.
They have the squad depth. But I've always said that Chelsea struggles without Cole Palmer. And the fans always disagree with me, and I don't know why. And they can see it from the performance. Fulham really dominated that game, especially in the first half. And you saw even there was a goal from them that was disallowed, the goal that was scored by Joshua King.
Yeah.
The goal was disallowed. And then, this is where I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah.
The Chelsea's goal that Joao Pedro scored came from a corner, a second corner that was kicked when the referee was supposed to blow the whistle for halftime. And the Fulham coach really complained, and the fans. I just want to hear from you what you think about that incident.
I think that incident really happens in football. There was also time Manchester United was playing against Brighton, and it was already halftime, and they were going to the dressing room, and the referee called the players back, and they came and kicked the penalty. So, and they scored. I can tell you, sometimes football, it doesn't favor you.
Yeah.
The same as Chelsea. It is only that you are not a Chelsea fan that you are saying it was bad. Again, if you are a Fulham fan, you will say it was bad to you. But Chelsea, it was good to them, because I can assure you, the referee decision, whether wrong or right, it is the final decision.
Yeah.
The referee mistake is the
Final.
Yeah. I can say it was supposed to be halftime by that time. But I think the referee at some point delays. Even after the added time, if a player will lie down.
Or that time wasted has to be compensated.
That time wasted, the referee looks at his watch. For example, if a player lies down 1 minute and it is added 7 minutes, the referee will extend the match up to 98 minutes, because he understands the players at this point, if your team is winning, you will want
to waste
time so that you win. At the same time, you find that a player will take the ball to the corner flag. And anacheza tu hapo na mpira, hataki kufunga, hataki iende nje. So that if it goes outside, it is a corner or a throw in. And it is on his advantage. So the referee, even if you go there and you play at the corner flag, the referee will add 1 minute. I think it is not a rule in the Premier League, but it is the conscience of the referee. Now that these opponents are wasting time, I will add. If a player is injured or pretends to be injured and badly injured,
that time wasted.
Unajua machela italetwa kwa uwanja. They will bring that and put on the player. And that time, even though it is already added time, the referee will have to add his own. So I think in the Fulham game, it was the same. The referee saw that there is time wasted. Either mpira imeenda nje, goalkeeper hataki kukika haraka. So even they brought in another rule. Goalkeeper akikana mpira 8 minutes, it is a corner. 8 seconds, it is a corner. The same thing. So I think the referee has had his own decision. Although they had added, waliongeza dakika ngapi? 7. Ikaenda paka dakika ya 53. It is true that if they, from 45 to 53, it is 8 minutes. That is true. So hiyo dakika moja ilikuwa either goalkeeper hakutaka kick mpira, or Chelsea, one of them, or Fulham did something that needed time to be added. So I will say it is a draw.
That was a derby, and for sure it was not easy for Chelsea. It was a tough fixture for them. But you could see when Chelsea got their second goal, you could see that Fulham looked like they have gave up somehow. And that's how they ended up losing that match. But something we have to talk before we move away from this Chelsea versus Fulham discussion. Their striker, Liam Delap, got injured. And you could see that they have panicked somehow. because as much as they have a big squad, but for me, I think the quality is not there. What are your thoughts?
At Chelsea, I can say they should just bring Jackson back or recall Mark Guiu, the striker who was signed from Barcelona, to come and cover up the position.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea with Joao Pedro only, if Joao Pedro gets injured, there's no one, because Nkunku is not in the team. And also, Garnacho cannot fill that position very well. So it is the decision lies with Chelsea. Either they had recalled, by the way, they had recalled Jackson from Bayern loan, and although the agent refused to let him go back, but I think they have also recalled Mark Guiu and allowed Jackson to sign his contract as a loanee to Bayern.
Okay. Wow. Let's wait and see how things turn out. Now, let's come to Manchester United. They got their first win on Saturday.
Yeah.
Lucky one, I must say.
Yeah.
Because I think Bruno Fernandes, after disappointing in the match that they played against Fulham, he had to score that penalty to give Manchester United 3 crucial points. Some of the things that you can say you observed in that match, and maybe for Manchester United generally, and also on that you can also speak about Matheus Cunha's injury. How is it going to affect Manchester United as a team?
I can say Manchester United, although they are improving in their performances, they are not to that level, because Burnley is a team that should not give Manchester United troubles. And you saw Manchester United needed up to the last minutes before a penalty was awarded, and Bruno managed to convert it so well. It is true Manchester United are rebuilding, but at this point we cannot rate Manchester United as we rated them the other time, that they are going to perform. Because in their last 2 games they have struggled. Against Arsenal, although they played a good game, they lost. Against Fulham, it was a 1-1 draw. I can assure you, Manchester United, they need to rebuild again in January. They need to buy players. That is my general assessment of the squad of Manchester United. Although Mbeumo and Cunha were really working very well, and even Mbeumo scored on that day.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So Cunha's injury is going to be a setback to Manchester United, because now that they have sold Garnacho. And now Cunha is injured, I think let it not be a long-term injury, because it is now an international break. Let Cunha heal.
So we might end up seeing them using Mason Mount on that position.
Because Mason Mount has also been used as a striker before Benjamin Sesko is in. So I think the starting lineup, when they come back again from the international break, will be Mbeumo. Then Sesko will always start, because there's no one stronger than Sesko to start there. Then on the left wing, we will have to see Mason Mount playing there. I don't see any other strong lineup that we can use.
Because even Zagzi, when he came when he was substituted for Cunha, you could see that his performance...
he is still weak. Zagzi is still weak.
United versus Burnley there. Now Man United have 4 points. Wanajisikia, ndio?
Watasonga. Now they are 9th on the table. Man U itasumbua.
Itasumbua?
Itasumbua.
Chocha tu mafans.
Itasumbua.
Anyway, now speaking of Manchester, Pep Guardiola losing 2 matches zikifuatana. What's wrong with Manchester City? And let me start. I said with that defense, I don't see Manchester City contending for the title. This is another season for Pep to struggle, because There is no way. I don't understand why Manchester City did not get a proper right back, because Matheus Nunes, that's not his natural position. Rico Lewis, yeah, he plays well on that position, but he really has some silly mistakes sometime. And speaking of mistakes, we've seen James Trafford, hata yameanza kuwa kama Onana.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, and what do you have to say? Because Manchester City, Haaland, he is doing his job as the striker. Yesterday, he played his 100 match for Manchester City, scoring his 88th goal. But as a striker, when you do your job and then the defense fails you, of course, your motivation must go down. A bad luck, like you call it, patapotea. What happened to Tottenham?
I think the goal was scored in the 5th minute.
Yes.
And they had to go 90 minutes without Tottenham finding the back of the net.
Yeah.
I can assure you the tactics are really working in the English Premier League. Tottenham knew that, and also if they had not scored for all that time, it means Brighton defense was good.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Bournemouth after wamefunga tu Tote bao moja hivi, wote wakarudi nyuma. It is either we are playing in the midfield or on the back line.
Back.
That gave Tottenham a real hard time to beat them. I can assure you the game was 50-50 in terms of possession, but Bournemouth really did well to defend their goal. And I think the mentality of the Tottenham players was to win. They thought that was an easy game because Bournemouth have sold most of their players. Milos Kerkez to Liverpool.
Yeah. Dean Huijsen
to
Real Madrid.
They have, I think their squad is starting to rebuild again. And mostly they are using the academy players and some of the players that they signed. Now that beating Tottenham that has signed many of the players, the stars, I think it is something that needs to be discussed in terms of tactics. I think the tactics of Bournemouth was to defend, and they did that, and they managed to go away with all the 3 points at the Tottenham Stadium.
Do you think Thomas Frank underrated Bournemouth and took this match as an easy fixture and as a chance for him to go on top of the table?
That is true. Because if he had won that game, I think he could be the one leading the table now due to the number of goals scored. Now that I can say Thomas Frank, that is his own allusions. Because in the Premier League, you don't come with that mentality of team ni kidogo. But I think that is what he thought. He thought that Bournemouth will beat them. Now that he is having Tottenham, you know, Tottenham in terms of power and everything, they are far ahead of Bournemouth. But now the result overturned.
Yeah. Now, we can talk about West Ham. They are blowing hot and cold. Yeah. They lost
5-1 to Chelsea.
I think their first match they lost Sunderland, then they were beaten by Chelsea, and then they just decided kumalizia hasira yote kwa Nottingham Forest. There were some speculations that even listening to analysts saying that Graham Potter could be sacked. Do you think from that performance against Nottingham Forest, maybe West Ham could give him more time?
I think those were just speculations, and you know, speculations sometimes come out to be true.
Yeah.
And losing to small teams, especially it is West Ham, you will just be sacked as the coach. But Graham Potter, the time we started beating Nottingham Forest, it was almost in the last minutes of the game. It's when he scored 3 goals. In fact, those 2 goals came in the added time.
Yeah.
So I can assure you, Mololon, he will be given time. Graham Potter will be given time. But if he struggles again 3 or 4 games coming after international break, I think that is the time that you will see Graham Potter leave West Ham.
Okay, then to Aston Villa. They played yesterday, last night against Crystal Palace. And Aston Villa, for sure, they started the season so badly. They started with a draw, then they lost against Brentford, and then yesterday again to Crystal Palace.
I can say Crystal Palace at this point, they are coming to be big boys, or at some point they are making sure that they are seen at the top. Since when Crystal Palace beat Manchester City in the FA Cup, they came and beat Liverpool in the Community Shield. In the first game, they gave Chelsea headaches. And then I can assure you, Crystal Palace is one of the big boys. Now Aston Villa, first of all, some of their players are not in good positions, or they are not playing really good football. Since Emi Martinez is willing to leave the club and they are bringing in a good new goalkeeper, I think Aston Villa will still struggle.
Do you think Man United can get Emi Martinez?
They will sign him today, that's for sure. Because he didn't play yesterday because he's supposed to transfer, so they didn't want any issue with that. You know, a goalkeeper can be injured in that position, and a medical itakuwa shida.
Okay. Now, for the big game of the weekend, I know time is running, but we have to talk about it, then we conclude. So, from what you observed, Arsenal really dominated that game, but I had some fans yesterday where I was discussing the match before it started, and they were saying playing the midfield of Zubimendi, Declan Rice and Merino was not a good idea. What do you think?
I think that place of Merino, they should have put there Odegaard. Because Merino, in creating chances, he doesn't know how to create chances. Now that Declan Rice had to cover 2 positions, had to cover that position of Merino, because Merino, even if you could see him, he was on the attack line. He was there chasing the ball, and he needed to be in the midfield while Gyökeres and the Martinelli and Madueke chased the ball. I can assure you, at some point Arteta made a big mistake. He could have even started as in that midfield more than Merino. But all in all, we lost. Congratulations, Liverpool. And I think that is one of the motivation for you. I think going forward, you will be winning games, but now that you are adding Isak, you will be so good when it comes to attacking. Congratulations to Liverpool.
And I hope we get Guehi today.
Mark Guehi also. By evening, we will
be a very, very good boost to the squad.
By this evening, 11:59 p.m. East African time. Not Central or Prime Meridian time. That is when we will be knowing that. Here in East African, itakuwa saa 8 usiku. Is when the transfer window will be closed officially. So we have teams that have signed some of the players. We have Piero Incap has gone to Arsenal, Donnarumma to Manchester City. We have Isak to Newcastle. Martinez will be joining Manchester United this afternoon. Also, we have many transfers. These transfers will bring you in detail on Saturday when we'll be having another show.
And that's why we asked you, our fans, to tell us on our social media platforms how you rate your team in terms of performance. Are you satisfied with the players that you've gotten and how they are helping your teams? I think that will be all for today. Time is not on our side. We'll have to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for everyone that made Sports City Extra to be a success. My name is Chris Mololo. Felix Makona has been my co-host.